Good evening, dear Kuwait television viewers, and welcome to another new episode of your weekly program Kuwait in 30 minutes. The English News and Political Programs Department has prepared a variety of reports that highlight the main events that have recently taken place across Kuwait. Our committed team of reporters is constantly engaged in numerous events with the objective of keeping you, dear viewers, aware of the latest information, regulations and policies. Our aim is to help you obtain information on the latest developments at the local scene. So stay tuned for more coming your way this evening. In our first item for tonight, Deputy Prime Minister and Interior Minister Anas Saleh, accompanied by Health Minister Sheikh Dr. Basil Subah, opened a quarantine at the Officers Club to treat suspected cases of COVID-19 from members of the Ministry of Interior. Our reporter Hadil Fahad has more details in this report.
Deputy Prime Minister and Interior Minister Anas Saleh, accompanied by Health Minister Sheikh Dr. Basil Subah, opened a health quarantine at the Officers Club to treat suspected cases on the coronavirus COVID-19 from members of the Ministry of Interior.
We've been preparing this quarantine location for MOI members, and it's been prepared by the Ministry of Health, and my great thanks to my colleague, His Excellency Sheikh Dr. Basil, for preparing and fully organizing and equipping the quarantine area to be ready to accommodate all our fellow MOI members and the police force work, and hopefully we look forward that we receive the least possible.
The quarry is part of the Ministry of Interior's effort to tackle the coronavirus and support the efforts of the state and health authorities, with the aim of easing the pressure on hospital and medical staff.
At the beginning, we're at the MOI quarantine here, which is prepared by the Ministry of Health. We have 24 clinic that is fully equipped to treat COVID-19 cases and an isolation for asymptomatic patient. The clinic consists as well of many healthcare staff. We have 4 doctors running it. We have nursing staff, 7 nursing staff, and as well 7 pharmacists who provided all the medical requirement for the other Ministry of Health.
The Minister of Health praised the efforts of the Interior Ministry, equipping the quarry and equipping it with all equipment during record time in accordance with the standards of health.
Kuwaiti churches reopened their doors after being closed as part of general isolation measures to combat the new coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak. The churches reopened with setting rules for its visitors, such as keeping social distancing and wearing masks. The decision came after the government has eased some of the restrictions on religious gatherings. Hadil Fahad has more in this report.
Kuwait witnessed the reopening of churches after weeks of closure due to the new coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak, and set out completely different procedures that the church had not seen before.
For our procedure here, we are following the instruction of the government. So from the phase one, they allowed all the mosques and all the churches to continue the prayer. So I think we read that on phase three, the prayer on Fridays, the gathering prayer will continue. So till the phase three, we are continuing our prayer. Daily we have prayer, just the clergyman, our bishop and me.
The Orthodox Church imposed procedures and restrictions on its visitors.
That everyone who will attend the church, we will offer them the place, but in the safe mood to continue the prayer. Will be in these days. We have a couple weeks until the group prayer will continue. But as you see in front of the doors, there's sanitizer. Everyone who will come, he should to have to clean hands and to put the mask and everything.
The church's reopening came as a precautionary measure within the first stage that the cabinet has implemented so that life can gradually return while overcoming the pandemic and return to normal life.
Amid the exceptional circumstances witnessed by the country as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, the team in charge of violations at the Ministry of Electricity and Water continues its tasks to provide a healthy environment commensurate with the current situation. The team tours aim to remove all violations and encroachments on the state property. Halil Fahad has more in this report.
The Ministry of Electricity and Water exert efforts in cooperation with the Kuwait municipality and the Environment Police to provide a safe and healthy environment that copes with the current circumstances in the country. The ministry continues its campaign to remove vehicles and heavy equipment under the telephone lines to facilitate the maintenance process and ensure safety for all.
In coordinating with Kuwait municipality, Ministry of Electricity and Water are cooperating to remove the violation under the 132 kV and 300 kV overhead lines, which interrupt the maintenance team in the ministry.
Recording violations and issuing warnings in the Al Ahmed Industrial Zone are part of the follow-up efforts made by Al Ahmed executive authorities to provide a healthy environment in light of the current situation. The tour is part of the ongoing efforts made towards the removal of all violations on state property are removed.
In an initiative to contain the coronavirus and to ensure as many people from across all governorates get tested for COVID-19, the Ministry of Health has launched a drive-through COVID-19 testing center at Jabir Al Ahmed International Stadium, noting that a further drive-through COVID-19 testing center is also operating at Al Jazeera Park and Fly at Kuwait International Airport. A total of 180 tests are conducted at random on a daily basis via the new service for individuals from all 6 governorates based on population distribution. Furthermore, the Ministry of Health is cooperating with the Public Authority for Civil Information to carry out the tests nationwide, where individuals receive SMSs with all data required, including date, time and location. Reporter Ghinwa Japouri has more details in this report.
The Ministry of Health recently inaugurated a drive-through novel coronavirus testing centre at Jabir Al Ahmed International Stadium, with the objective of helping to increase the number of tests carried out by the ministry to establish information on unreported infection cases.
We are here for like around 5 to 7 days. We started the testing in this location. We are receiving Kuwaiti citizens through SMS messages. We have two categories here. The Kuwaiti citizens who are a contact of positive COVID-19 cases. And the second category, there are random SMS messages from the PASI to the random sample that represents Kuwaiti governorates. The sample is for people aged 18 till 60 of years, and the female and male are the same size.
Since its inauguration, the centre has been carrying out over 180 tests daily for more than 180 people. Furthermore, the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Public Authority for the Civil Information, have worked together to randomly nominate individuals representing the different state areas, both males and females and different age categories, for the tests.
Everything is, working well, and we are moving well. First of all, any person here in Kuwait, get a test message from the Ministry of Health to his phone. He shall come here. He will go from the door. We will check the SMS message that we send him. Then he will come to us. We will put his information. We will update his phone number and where he's, his living place. Then he will come here. And usually we do two tests: the rapid test and also the swab.
The drive-through COVID-19 testing centre, according to a representative at the Ministry of Health, is quite convenient, as people coming to get tested arrive in their car, where there is no need for them to leave their car at all, and that the entire process takes only 15 minutes.
Jabir Stadium COVID-19 drive-through testing centre. From Jabir Stadium, Al Ardiya, I'm Gana Jabouri, reporting to you for Kuwait in 30 minutes.
And coming up next, at Kuwait International Airport, everyone works and makes all efforts to facilitate the return of citizens stranded abroad as part of the state's evacuation plan. It's more evident through the Ministry of Health, which harnesses all its capabilities for the safety of citizens before joining their families. Halil Fahad brings us the whole story in this report.
Dentists, who have no less importance than other specialties, showed heroism and were present at Kuwait International Airport to provide their humanitarian duty and to confront COVID-19. They worked non-stop as a beehive to confront the pandemic.
Dentists are playing an important role in the organization and the Shlonic application process. Me, myself, I'm working in the registration.
Dentists are in the front lines, where they lovingly receive the citizen coming from abroad to perform the necessary examination before going to their home or institutional quarantine.
It's my pleasure to work here as a dentist in this very tremendous, great work as an evacuation to bring all of the citizens back from abroad to Kuwait.
Efforts are made by everyone, hand by hand, to confront the virus. Reporting for Kuwait in 30 minutes, this is Halil Fahad.
The Ministry of Public Works prepared a quarantine area considered the biggest of its type in Kuwait consisting of field hospitals and medical clinics, as well as specialized wards to treat patients of COVID-19. Hadil Fahad has more details in this report.
As seen shows the government mobilization of all country sectors facing COVID-19, and this time by the biggest quarantine in the country, quarantine of Ministry of Public Works. All the government sectors and the official bodies working hard and together to pass this crisis.
This quarantine was established on a total area of 125,000 quarter meters with 4 stages, each stage with 1,200 beds and with a capacity of 5,000 beds. These stages will be delivered upon a stage every 1 week. We achieved that within 10 days, and we will deliver the full quarantine, which will be the biggest quarantine established in a short period, and a place was allocated for the Ministry of Interior and the General Directorate of Fire and the nursing staff.
Ministry of Health by its medical staff quickly undertake the quarantine immediately after its preparation to stop the increasing numbers of cases. Reporting for Kuwait in 30 minutes, this is Hadil Fahad.
A new initiative from the Kuwait Imprint volunteer team was launched in light of this pandemic. The new initiative aimed to provide and distribute food and vegetables in many isolated areas. Kuwait in 30 Minutes camera accompanied the volunteer team in several areas during the distribution process under the supervision and cooperation of the Security Directorate at Hawali Governorate. More details in the following report.
The Kuwait Imprint volunteer team challenged the heat of the sun, the risks and the spread of the new coronavirus COVID-19 to draw a smile on the face of many by serving every person in need on the land of this province and providing all the nutritional needs of residents in many areas of the state of Kuwait.
We are helping the needed people, and whatever they want, we can help them. By fruits, by vegetables, anything. Just they call us, and we'll be in case we will be there whenever they want us, in any time, in any place. We're just here to help them, to be with them. Just we want something to stay in home and to help us by protecting themselves.
36 tons of vegetables were distributed to the persons in need. This comes within several efforts made by the Kuwait Imprint volunteer team in Mahboula, Jilib Shuyukh, Salmiya and Hawali. Kuwait Imprint volunteer team was accompanied by Ministry of Interior men to organize their work while being present in the isolated and non-isolated areas.
The Kuwait Hope Voluntary Team is collaborating with the Public Authority for Disabilities to produce face masks in their facility in Asura area. The team manufactures the face shields with the highest standards before they are inspected and packaged in the facility. Here is more with our colleague Saleh Labedi.
The Kuwait Hope Voluntary Team continues to produce face shields in collaboration with the Public Authority for Disabilities to support the frontline workers in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic.
This is the second initiative that we take as part of managing the design and producing a face shield. This initiative is a joint between Kuwait Hope and the Institution of Human Affairs alongside the Public Authority for Disability Affairs. So all of them joined together with a movement that they already created called إحنا بعد وياكم, which is part of the Public Authority for Disability Affairs, where they bring disabled people to join the work that we have as part of our volunteers. We have produced almost very close to 42,000 face shields, and per day we're doing about 1,500 to 2,000 face shields. The group of volunteers comes from everywhere, being from ages, females, males, Kuwaitis, and those who are disabled also. So this is the initiative.
The team operates with volunteers from Kuwait as they produce thousands of face shields on a daily basis. All the face shields produced go through quality inspections mandated by the World Health Organization and the Kuwait Ministry of Health. The shields are purposed to protect workers from getting infected, as it protects the entire facial area. The voluntary team will continue to produce masks to support the workers who are in danger of contracting the virus. The Kuwait Hope team continues their efforts in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic by creating face shields to support frontline workers. This is Sahih Abaidi reporting for Kuwait in 30 minutes.
The General Department of Traffic has received citizens and residents who renewed their driving license via the ministry's online site. The General Department of Traffic said it would not issue traffic citations to motorists whose driving license or car registrations have expired in conjunction with the COVID-19 crisis. More in the following report by Hadil Fahad.
The General Department of Traffic has prepared a working team of officers and technicians in the Nasser Sport Club Hall to receive citizens and residents who have registered to the process of receiving renewed driving license via the Ministry of Interior website. The mechanism was as follows. Auditors submit the process online, pays the fees, and then receives a message in order to receive the driving license. The General Department of Traffic has installed devices in Nasser Sport Club to ease the receiving of the driving license, as well as applying social distancing with taking all the precautionary measures to all auditors. And the General Department of Traffic issued a circular not to issue a violation to those whose driving license or vehicle ownership has expired in conjunction with the COVID-19 crisis.
Al Jazeera Airlines, cooperating with the Ministry of Health and with the participation of the General Directorate of Fire and Civil Aviation, provided a drive-in testing for COVID-19 cases. More details in the following report.
Service of a quick examination of COVID-19 by CARS examination is considered one of the best efforts to face COVID-19.
Regarding the drive-in test, we offer as an airline, Jazeera Airways, we offer the MOH, a huge land and space to use for the test and the drive for the next 3 months.
Ministry of Health continues its efforts facing COVID-19 through providing the trained medical staff in this center.
Large facility testing center, which is near Jazeera headquarters in front of Amiri terminal, that will open soon in order to provide to all population the possibility to test the COVID-19 and have immediately the result from Ministry of Health.
Efforts are still done by various government authorities and the private sectors so as to apply all the precautionary measures, ensuring security and safety of citizens and residents from COVID-19. This is Hadil Fahad reporting for Kuwait in 30 minutes.
Cooperative societies continue to use the appointment system during the partial curfew, which was placed by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry for cooperative societies and markets. In As-Surra Cooperative Society, the management team and volunteers continue to thoroughly sanitize the premises and take all other safety measures. Here is more with Saleh Al-Abedi in the following report.
The safety procedures placed by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry for cooperative societies continue even after the end of the full curfew. All shoppers need to book appointments and to abide by the safety regulations such as social distancing, wearing both masks and gloves to ensure everybody's safety, even during the morning period.
For everyone's it's safety to take appointment to shopping in Surra supermarkets, and the management will be organized for that, and welcome in Surra supermarket. Keep the gloves and keep the mask. It's safety for all.
The voluntary teams continue their work in supporting cooperative societies in organizing the markets and in sanitizing the premises of the society, as well as assisting shoppers. The volunteers are also providing gloves and masks and also checking the temperatures of shoppers upon arrival.
We are here working on the sanitizing of the trolleys and taking temperatures for the people come inside the coop. Give them a mask or give them gloves for the hands. And we are sanitizing the trolleys and cover them with plastic so they can be safe to the people that come to the coop.
The relevant authorities continue to advise people to avoid gatherings and to only go out if it is necessary in efforts to combat the COVID-19 pandemic.
From the Surra Cooperative Society, this is Saleh Al-Abedi reporting for Kuwait in 30 minutes.
And in our last item for tonight, in view of the global epidemiological health situation regarding the prevalence of the emerging coronavirus COVID-19, the Decontamination Unit of the Naval Forces has sterilized Mishrif Cooperative Society as precaution procedures using some of the most advanced technologies and equipment. The mission was to ensure that all buildings, facilities and laborers were clear of the virus and to secure the safety of customers. Hadil Fahad has more details in the following report.
Kuwait witnessed during the crisis of COVID-19 the best examples of volunteers, especially in societies. These youth raised flag of dedication in serving their home. But the winds come not like the ships, as however the precautionary measures. Some societies declared closing its markets for sterilization after finding confirmed infection cases among volunteers.
If any volunteer in the society gets infected, the society closes directly for sterilization. After that, the society opens and that infected volunteer is isolated and the close contacts are checked.
Alternative plan in most societies. For their safety, volunteers will be dispensed with.
The volunteers have given us great support in the beginning of this corona crisis, and we have asked them to stand by for their security and for the others, for public security as well, till we check if everything is going well with them. Then we may ask them back to support us, or we may ask them to stay home, and that's it for them. Yeah.
Sterilization included most cooperative societies, seeking workers and visitors' safety with modern techniques and new certified equipment by the World Health Organization. Reporting to Kuwait in 30 minutes, this is Hadil Fahad.
Well, this brings us to the conclusion of tonight's episode of Kuwait in 30 minutes. We hope to see you again same time next week. Our highly dedicated team of correspondents is constantly out in the field searching for reports that matter most to you. Thank you for joining us tonight and see you next week with more exclusive reports. Have a good night.